I'm R.J. Nestor, productivity coach, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use productivity bridges to work more efficiently and effectively. A productivity bridge is a template or an automation or a strategy or a routine or some structure that you build in order to increase the speed, the accuracy, and the quality of your work. And I wanted to give you some concrete examples of what I mean by that productivity bridge. Now, I use a Mac. I use the tool Tana, which I have built into being the hub for my task management and my note-taking. I use Keyboard Maestro, which allows you to assemble actions and automations into macros. And I use, right now I'm going to demo a tool, well, you won't see Hookmark in the foreground, but it's working in the background. Hookmark allows you to create links to all sorts of things, including emails and documents and files. And so with these three tools, just these three tools right now, I can demo how productivity bridges make my work more effective. You can use other tools, you can use your own system, but this is how I can do it. So one key thing that I think a lot of people have a challenge with is when you get an email, how do you immediately get that information into your system as a task or as a note? Let me talk you through that here. I have some advanced auto parts emails that I've gotten, and I'm going to use that as a demonstration here. If I want to bring that task or I want to bring that note in, how can I do that? Well, I have a Keyboard Maestro mail palette here that has a few actions, a few macros that I have created here. We won't worry about the one that would send it to Readwise, but I do have three here that are bringing it into Tana. One that allows me to just create a simple task to respond to the email if I don't have time now, but I want to do it later, and I don't want to be in the midst of other unread emails when I come back in. I want to come directly to the email. I can use that. Let me show you how it works. I click Respond. It's going to immediately open me up in Tana. It's going to respond to and give me the subject line of that email. It's going to automatically schedule it for tomorrow, which of course I can change. I can assign it to a bin, let's say home and autos. It's auto parts store. And then it has a link directly back to that email. So if I want to come back to it, I don't have to be distracted by other things potentially in my inbox. I won't save that for right now because I don't actually want that in my system. But I wanted to, Command E or simply clicking this would save it to my today node, and then it would show up in my task queries on the appropriate day. Let's say I wanted to create a task based on this email. So it's not respond to, but it's something where I want to do that. I click this and I say, do stuff with the advance email. And it's going to ask me how many days from now, let's say 4. And as soon as I've done that, it's going to come over here. The task name is the one I assigned. You can see it's scheduled for 4 days from now. Today is the 21st. The assigned bin, I'll leave that as home and auto. That's essentially how I assign it to categories or projects in my system. And again, the email link will take me right directly back to that email. Say I didn't have a specific task associated, but I did want to save the email for some reason. My little spider web, which is a little hard to see here, spider web to Tana. I bring that over, and it's going to save that email in my format here that I have preset up. It's got the subject line, when I captured it, it's got the who it's from, and once again has the link back to the email. If you can do this real quick, a lot of your email problems will go away, because most of our email problems are not being sure in the moment exactly what we need to do with an email, whether we have to respond now so we don't forget for later, whether we have to leave it unread and then unread piles up. As a result, we don't want to do that. This kind of system allows you to capture those very, very quickly. I can capture a project in 5 seconds, complete with a review period that will allow it to show up to my attention at the period of time that I choose, the number of days I choose, to make sure that it stays front of mind in case I don't have a task set up or something for a particular day. I can keep that in front of mind here. So we'll say this is a new demo project, hashtag project, not person RJ, project. It's a little quicker, slower than 5 seconds when you do that. Project review period, I want to see it every 4 days. Click this. Bam, the project is captured. It was added to my today page. And we'll see in a second that it's there. But I want to capture a task to it first and demonstrate how that works. Because I can capture a task to a project with a scheduled date attached without ever needing to send things to a GTD or getting things done style inbox. The inbox is a lovely thing for capturing if you're a GTD user, but things pile up there. This is a way of preventing that from happening. If we can capture things directly to the projects they're associated with, directly to the categories they're associated with, when we capture it and do it seamlessly, effortlessly, with very little time spent, then we don't have to worry about excess piling up in our inbox. We know where things are. We've built the structure where they need to go. We know we have that project there. Command E, this is a first task for that new project. Task, and then I just assign it to that bin. New demo project. There it is. And we'll say I want to do it on Friday. Okay, so there it is, tomorrow, Friday. And I just hit that, and it's now captured. I actually have a Keyboard Maestro macro that lets me do what I just did from anywhere in my system. So wherever I may be, I'll hop back over to Mail so you can see this at work. Hit this keystroke. It'll ask me what do I want to complete. A second demo task for the new project. Hit enter. How many days? Let's say 7 days. It'll bring me here. I assign it to that project. New demo project. And then I hit Command E, and now it's assigned. And if you don't believe that it's assigned, we'll go over there in 1 second, and I'll show you. But first, I want to show you how quick it is to capture a project note. This note is important for the new project. And anything I put underneath here, blah, 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 will go right along with it when I go to a project note, and I assign it to that same demo project. And now they're all there. And let me show you how they're all there. New demo project. There it is. If I open it up, this is my Tana for Tasks 2 background, essentially, system here. You can see the tasks are scheduled, one for tomorrow, one for a week from now. They're on the calendar. If I needed to move them, I could. Very, very simple. Then in my Resources tab, you'll see that note, that important note for the new project is here. All of that new project and any tasks associated with it immediately, effortlessly captured from wherever I may be in my Tana system. Another thing, creating a recurring action so I never need to capture or schedule it again. Recurring tasks are bridges too, because I don't have to worry about recapturing them. They're going to show up when I need them, and I will have them. Okay? Let me show you what I mean by that. Put out the garbage. If that's something that needs to show up every, say, Thursday. We'll say this is home and auto. I want the first one to be on Thursday, which today is a Thursday, so we'll leave that as today. How many? Every 1 week is how often I want it to show up. And if there's a holiday in that week and it gets moved to Friday, I still want the next one to show up on Thursday. And so now it's set up. And in my task queries, this task will show up every Thursday. And if I need to move it to Friday that week, I can, but the next one will still show up every Thursday. This is part of my Tana for Tasks 2 system, if you wanted to look about that. But that's how this works. That's what's functional here. I don't need to capture that recurring task ever again or worry about remembering it because it will show up for me. That's a bridge. Say I had something I wanted to see every Sunday as a recurring task, but also had a few little steps associated with it. Well, I could just attach another super tag that throws on a checklist. Also, by the way, this is part of my Tana for Tasks 2. And when I finish this recurring task 1 week, it'll refresh the checkboxes so they'll be reopened and clear the next Sunday when that shows up. I can schedule tasks automatically for what I call a date-driven project. Say I wanted to start cohort 11 of my Applied Action Powered Productivity course, cohort 10 starting here shortly, so I don't have cohort 11 in my system yet. But I do have a super tag, Applied APP, which is set up with all of the tasks already pre-scheduled with offsets, so that I can have that scheduled right away. So let's type up cohort 11. We'll tag it as an applied APP. We'll open that up. Project review period of 5 days, so I'll go ahead and click that. So that's going to show up to me now. When I need every 5 days, I'll have a reminder to do that. I'd say, just for the sake of argument here, that I wanted to do this on November 17th as the launch date. Having done that, all I have to do is open up my template tasks. You'll see all of these are scheduled with offsets like 30 days before or 22 days before, whatever. When I click this button, they all become tasks. They're all now appropriately scheduled for what they need to be. And if I were to go into, I'll clear some space here by closing that and reopening it, the project dashboard, you'll see that all of these tasks that we just did are now laid out on the calendar. If I can't do the 25th for some reason, heck, we'll do it on the 24th. Oh, I'll do this one on the 28th. They can all be easily moved around, and they will show up in my agenda on the days for which they are scheduled. So within just seconds, I can have captured, and just did, though I'll delete it here because I don't actually want this for cohort 11. I have captured every task that I need for cohort 11. This is what a productivity bridge can do. And this isn't even that complicated to build when you understand a little bit about Tana, and in particular for this one, if you have my Tana for Tasks 2 or secret coming up soon, Tana for Tasks Core, a slightly streamlined version of 2. That's coming soon as of the 21st of September of 2023. It'll be out if it's later than that. But that's very simple. An open loop is what I call a task that I haven't completed. I can capture that from anywhere in my system. So if I were in another app, the same thing would happen here, working on draft of publication. I don't know, I'm making that up. The next thing I'm going to do is write the intro. And that's the reminder for me. I'll get my task here in open loop format. It's not attached to home and auto, but let's just do that for the sake of it. And now I have my draft of publication task, continue, reminder of what I need to do. Open loop extends the task super tag in my system, which means it'll still show up as a task. I have a search at the end of every day to capture the open loop, so if I have it scheduled for today, it will be there. I can act on it at that time, or if I want to move it to another day, I can. That's the power that we have here. There are a practically infinite number of productivity bridges that you can build. Templates, automations, strategies are bridges from goals to action. I've mentioned the recurring tasks here, links to materials or resources that you need to use, and several other types of structures. What I do in action-powered productivity, and in particular in my cohorts applied action-powered productivity, is give you the tools to understand what these productivity bridges are and help you build the first few that will greatly improve your productivity and give you what you need to be able to develop those for yourself going forward. And once you're in the cohort, you're always in my community as long as you want to be. So you can always reach out even, the next year and say, hey, I'm working on this, help me with this. And I will, because I like helping folks with that. So this is what a productivity bridge is. This is how it can be really powerful for getting things done faster and more efficiently and more of a higher quality, so that the work you do is not lagging and the tools you use are serving you, working to facilitate your work rather than being something that you kind of are butting up against, and that the proficiency that you have with them is not secure enough to get that work done effectively. Build these productivity bridges. Come to me. I can help you do it.